should have seen us going. Passing the folks along the road, just as they were standing. All the lads and lasses there, all with smiling faces, gathering along the Scotswood Road to see the bleeding races. We went to bleeding races.
Oh, it's back through Bartes!
1962 on a summer's afternoon, we took the bus from Bambras and she was heavy laden. Where we went along Collinwood Street, that's on the road to Bladen. Whoa, me lads, you should have seen us gunning, passing the folks along the road just as they were standing. All the lads and lasses there, all with smiling faces, gunning along the Scotswood Road to see the bleeding races.
Yes, people, welcome back to another video. John Sinclair TV back again. He's back again. And tonight I got Tony, my guy. And I've also got one of my favourite podcasters. In fact, she's my favourite podcaster. And it's Maisy.
Hi.
Hi, John. Hi, Maisy.
Hello to you as well, Tony.
Brilliant stuff. And yeah, so it's on a little bit late, and just Maisy and Tony having a bit of banter. And if you like the video, like what you see, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you like to super chat, click on the $sign to see how much the channel's worth. And if you'd like to be a member, click on the join button as well. It'd be nice to get 100 people watching live tonight. If I get that, that will be absolutely amazing. Thanks so much indeed. We are going to talk about the Premier League prediction. Before I do that, I was going to go straight on to the comments. I like coffee first. Yes. I tell you what, we're giving 200 bottles of wine in that a day. Big up to Jay Sweet. I missed your comment yesterday, but big up to you. John and Maisy, mainly Tony as well. And big up to Stephen, lovely and races. Pablo, thank you very much for becoming a member. And I really appreciate that. Thank you very much indeed. And you be in it as well. Big up to Pablo, my guy. Big up to David, even to you. John, Tony, Maisy. Hi, my guys. Danielle, she is absolutely lovely. I've seen her on Saturday. I'm going to give her a massive, massive hug if I see her. She is adorable. Big up to Mason, one of the co-hosts. Big up to Gan, Nassim Ravi, Big Scouser. Good evening. Do you think Manson's holding out for an Arsenal and Spurs like Ekiteke did with PSG after they have been turned down again? We're going to talk about it later when we do the Premier League predictions as well, mate. But if that's the case, then don't know what to say. Big up to Pablo again. Hi, John, Ton, Missy. Hope you're well. Going for 3-1 win this weekend. Up the team. Big up. And big up to Anna Coffee and Ravi. Liverpool need to either finish first or win the Champions League. We'll see about that one. Right, we're going to talk about Premier League predictions. Right, it's the first week of Matchday 1. Guys can join in as well. Tony and Mace are going to give their scores as well. I'll do mine as well, in course. And we're going to go straight on to the Friday game between Crystal Palace against Arsenal, Selhurst Park. And Arsenal spent a bit of money this season. They brought in Gabriel Jesus, Fabio Vieira, Zinchenko, and they're after a couple more players before the winners' lounge shuts. I mean, Mikel Arteta, Tony, I'll start with you. I mean, they need to get off to a fly. They didn't last season. They have spent a lot of money. From my opinion, I think Mikel Arteta's under pressure and he needs to get it right this season. If he doesn't, there's going to be big questions off this guy. If I was an Arsenal fan, I'm Arteta out, but he has got to get a spot on, my guy.
Yeah, he has to. But as everybody knows, Arsenal always start off slowly, regardless of who they've signed in the past. Arteta will be under pressure, but I just don't see Arsenal getting off to the perfect start on Friday. Not at all. I mean, I've got Palace down to beat them 2-0 at home because last season they got beat away to Brentford on the first game of the season, and Vieira, ex-Arsenal, he wants to get one over his old team as well. And he has Palace playing some nice football. It's first game of the season, so teams are not going to be on it fully. But I'm going for Palace to win 2-0 against Arsenal.
Got Chesway in the chat, so big up to Chesway, Rennie B, Leicester fan, Stephen X, top 8. And yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, one thing I'm going to say as well, I think Arsenal, in my opinion, I think they might just win that game because they had a very good pre-season. Gabriel Jesus is on fire at the minute. Yes, I know it's a friendly. He's got a hat-trick against Sevilla last week, a couple of days ago at the Emirates Cup. But it's only a friendly, by the way. But it seems to me that Arsenal's getting it together, in my opinion. But what about you, Danny? What about you, Maisy?
For me, I actually completely agree with Tony, to be honest. I don't think Arsenal is going to get off to a good start. They never do. And they pick up around October time in terms of the points. The thing is with Arsenal, no matter who they have, they're very inconsistent. And if I was an Arsenal fan, I would be already raising questions about Mikel Arteta. He's spent the most in 2 summer transfer windows in the Premier League. And what has he got to show for it as a manager? And what's the club got to show for it? They can't even get top 4 in the Champions League. So I would personally raise questions. I want Mikel Arteta out just because he finished above us. Never mind anything as an Arsenal fan. But I think for me, even though Crystal Palace hasn't made any signings where I could go, Woucher, they've signed a very experienced goalkeeper in Sam Johnstone, who I think will help him in terms of a lot of games, because there was the same in terms of scoring and conceding. I think they had roughly around the same goals as they did defence, and to be higher up the table, you need to have a good defence, and I think that is what Patrick Vieira is looking at. I think they will concede Crystal Palace, but I think they'll win. And I've gone for a 3-1 win for Crystal Palace.
Oh, I'm going to go Arsenal 2-0, to be honest with you. I think they're going to go off to a start. Yes, they're not the quickest of starts, but I think I'm going to go 2-0. I think Jesus is going to make a difference in that team. And the thing is, right, I mean, everyone's big up Fabio Vieira. He's thinking that he's the next best thing. I said the other day, have these fans been watching him? Have they watched the Portuguese league? No, they haven't. They're just picking him up and not even watched him play at all. Yeah? Zinchenko, quality. Jesus, I think he'll make a difference. I think Martinelli's going to make a difference as well this season. I really do. And I think that Saliba, I said last week, Saliba at the back, he is outstanding. He's been absolutely outstanding. I'm a big fan of this guy. And Gabriel, those two at the back will be absolutely fantastic. I really do. Ramsdale needs to get that together, and Ben White needs to get that together as well. But I think if Thomas Partey gets on it without getting injuries, I think that midfield can make a difference. So definitely another midfielder in there as well. And as for Palace, they've got a couple of players as well. They've got a little guy from Lens as well. I do not know about this guy, but they've got a couple of players in there. But I'm going to go 2-0 to Arsenal for me. I think it's really a good start for me. So that's my prediction. Tony, you're saying 2-0 to Arsenal?
No,
to
Palace. Yeah.
To the Palace. And Maisy, you're saying 3-1?
Yeah, 3-1 to Crystal Palace. I'm writing all my predictions down as well, ready for Thursday. So I'm consistent.
Hey!
I've got mine done.
I'm just going along as I can. I've already done a couple. I still need to decide on my own club.
Wow.
I've got a surprise for you on 9.
Oh, I already know you're going to go for Brighton when it's fine. I'll accept it.
Fair enough. Right, we're going to go on to the next one. And we've got one between Fulham and Liverpool at 12:30 kickoff at Cleveland College. I mean, Fulham's got a couple of players in the door as well. They also bought ex-Newcastle right back from Wolfsburg. And Tony, you'd like to tell us his name, please?
Yeah, Kevin Mbappe.
Mbappe.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Is it going to make a difference? They got Mitrovic still up front as well. He's still there. And they got players like Tom Kearney there as well. And against the Liverpool side, that they got Darwin Núñez, paid 85 million quid for him. And Jota signed a new long-term contract there. And they lost Mane as well. I think it's going to be a big, big miss. But they still got the big hitters like Mo Salah. They got him. Firmino's still there. And Diaz as well. And they still got Virgil van Dijk as well. But for me, Tony, I can only see a 3-0 win against newly promoted side?
Well, I can't see Fulham winning, if I'm honest. Even with Mitrovic, because he always struggles in the Premier League anyway. Even if they've got Kevin Mbabu, who are rated highly at Newcastle, we should never have let him go, really. But I can't see anything past Liverpool because the amount of attacking players have got, and Darwin Núñez, and don't forget, they've just beat City at the weekend 3-1. I know it's a Community Shield, but Haaland missed his chance. Núñez didn't. That's the difference. So they've both paid big money for strikers. I can't see anything other than a Liverpool win. And my prediction is, and Fulham's going to get off to an absolute horrendous start. 4-0 Liverpool.
Yeah, 4-0 Liverpool. And Maisy, Brad wants to come on as well, by the way.
I've gone for an even bigger scoreline for Liverpool. I've gone for a 6-0 for Liverpool. I think knowing that it's the start of the season and knowing that Liverpool, the reason why they lost was because of the draws and they didn't have as good goal difference as Manchester City also. I think this season, especially knowing that they have made good signings, in my personal opinion, I do think that Liverpool are going to take advantage of teams like Fulham to try and build up their goal difference. And I think that they're going to, especially knowing that you've got the likes of Jota signing his long-term deal, Mo Salah's signed a new deal at the club as well, it's just going to play into their favour. And I think they'll be even more hungry to get goals to try and win. So I know that Fulham have made good signings. One I will touch on is Paulinho from Sporting. It's third highest tackles in the Champions League, and even though he was knocked out around the 16, a brilliant defensive midfielder. I think the signings they've made, Fulham, in that kind of instance, they've done good, but I'm not confident in the manager. Marco Silva is a crap manager, and I don't think that he's gonna take them to stay into the Premier League. So that's why I think they're gonna get battered.
Yeah. First, so I don't know if he's going to last at the Premier League as well, Macy. I really don't. But you're right. But Paulinho looks a good buy. They got a lad from Donetsk as well. They got him as well. And is that going to be enough to keep Fulham up? That is the thing. They could do another centre-back as well, in my opinion. But I can see him get beat by 3-0. I don't think they're going to get wallop. But I think it's going to be 3-0 to me. May say 6. And Tony, what are you going for?
4-0. Liverpool.
4-0. We get Brad on as well. Big up, Brad. You all right, mate?
Evening.
Hey, Brad.
Hi.
I'm great.
And Brad, we had to catch up on these score lines. Quick one. Crystal Palace against Arsenal, mate.
I can see that being I'm going to go 1-1 for that. I couldn't pick between the two. I know Arsenal have had a good pre-season and stuff, but it'll be tough going to Palace to try and win. So. Yeah, I would say go for a 1-1 draw. It should be a really good game.
Yeah, fair enough. And let you put your finger caps on about full Liverpool. So I'm going to read out these comments quickly as well. Evening, Macy, and me, and guys, hope you're okay. Helen, hope you're okay. Big up to Gary. He's just followed you on Twitter, Tony.
I'll give you a follow back after the show, mate.
Brilliant. Thanks for that. And even to 4 amigos. Now, I heard Madison fancy Spurs and Arsenal, paper talk or what? Alan, nobody knows. Nobody knows. But if that's the case, then we just have to move on, haven't we? But nobody knows. Brent Costa Palm, big up, Brent. Hope you're all doing well. I can tell from the smile on Macy's face that the new season is almost here. Who are you sleeping? Who's sleep at teams? Underrated, but will surprise.
Good question. Aston Villa. I think Aston Villa will get at least mid-table, especially with the signings they've got, and Steven Gerrard as well. He's done terrific in the SPL, and I think that knowing he's got that experience as a player in the Premier League, he's gonna use that kind of knowledge, use the knowledge he's got from Rangers to get Aston Villa into a top 10 team.
Yeah, there you go. So it's going to be Aston Villa. I think they could surprise as well. I think they'll probably get top 10. And I've got them 9th, by the way. Big up to Jade. She's lovely. Big up to Jade. Hope you're okay. She third game as well. And they need a new striker. If you pay 60 mil, they'll accept Madison to go to Newcastle. That's been ready. Even to Brad as well, he's in the chat, in the cut. To be fair, all teams can see goals as what you do in points. That makes a difference, John. That's a fair comment there. Palace had a sensible transfer window. Arsenal had a great one in my view. Jesus could be the best sign of the season in my view. That's a Michael. It could be right up there. Leicester, so after paying some money for Perez to back in the deal, surely 60 mil is too much considered add-ons. To be honest with you, I think 60 mil is too much. Seriously. I'm with John. Arsenal looking really good. Palace will struggle. I think Palace might be lowered half this season. He had to play good football, but I think he'll probably get found wanting this season, I'm afraid. I don't want to say it, but it could be true. West Ham, signing Skamaka is massive. He'd be a very good player for us. If all, we've signed a striker, finally, the end is nigh. Do you know what it is, James? Good luck with this guy. He is absolutely fantastic. I love his movement as well. This is Accra from Lyon. If you can get Onana, we have a tidy midfield. Yeah, that's a good shout. I thought Onana plays Inter Milan, goalkeeper Onana as well. Great stream chat. Thank you very much, Paul Geordie. Loving the input. So much knowledge. Best tune YouTube channel by far, Joe. Well done, mate. Thank you so much indeed. I really appreciate that, Bold Eagle. Thank you so much indeed, my guys. Appreciate that. And we'll go for a few more before we get Michael's predictions on the Fulham-Liverpool game. Fulham was still in that game. Can't see them getting anything near. So we had no chance to beat Brentford, to be honest. So Mitchell's on fire for the Liverpool game. Even to Truls on Moz as well. Share the love to Truls. We have City in the first game. I can't wait for Norwegian Cenk Tosun Haaland to get pocketed by Craig Dawson. Oh, that'd be amazing if he did. Chelsea again. Truls, Ravi. Thank you so much indeed. Like, share, please let those and consider subscribing if you're new to the show. Big up. And everyone's saying hi to JD. Villa, they have Collard and a Swedish left back. West Ham played against those guys against Sevilla in the Europa League. Souček, I jumped that left back and Collins got muddled. Well, we'll see how
I agree, but Kamara from Marseille, and especially on a free, is absolutely outstanding. I don't mind Diego Carlos. I know he can get exposed, but I'm just looking at Glenn Kamara in particular for me, and I think that part of the midfield where the defensive midfielder part is what Aston Villa is really missing out on because of the likes of Mings, where he gets heavily exposed, and I think he can prevent that from happening for Aston Villa.
Yeah, that Kamara looks a quality player. He does. Why did he go to Villa? I just don't know. Whether he chose Sevilla over Villa, I have no idea. But big up to Stevie G for getting this guy through the door. Brad, Fulham against Liverpool, mate, before we go on to the next one.
I can't see. Just be a case of how many for Liverpool, I imagine, for that game. I'd say 3. Give Fulham a bit of a benefit of the doubt. Could be more though. Could be more, but I'll go over 3. I just think Liverpool will have too much for them, unfortunately. Which should be the common theme for a majority of games this season again.
Yeah, I'll go with you. I'll go with 3-0 as well, but they'll probably go easy on that as well, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, they'd be too good. I mean, Fulham give it a go, but Foxy said Liverpool put 8 past Fulham. Could well be. What new comment to the Premier League will have the biggest impact? It can be a player or in the Man U's case a manager.
Oh, I know this is going to sound biased. I think Botman is, because he's not tested in the Premier League, and I think he's going to surprise a lot of Premier League teams. So yeah, I think Botman's going to be the surprise of the season for what he brings to the defense, and not only that, he seems to be a good ball playing centre half as well. Mm-hmm. A typical Dutch centre half who likes straightforward. So yeah, I think Botman could be the surprise of the season.
I agree. Maisy.
I'm gonna go for the West Ham signing Sakamo. I think that he's an outstanding striker, and I think he will heavily put Mikel Antonio in the competition role, and I think that he will play a fair few Premier League games because we know Antonio. I'm not saying fair few more than Antonio, but I think he will play a few, or he might even potentially play in another position if that's going to be in the 10 or in the wing position as well to help out West Ham side. So I think he's going to be, for me, probably the best newcomer in the Premiership.
Yeah, that's a good shout. I mean, that could surprise a lot of people. I like that guy. He will suit the Premier League down to the ground 110%. Bad.
For me, I think it's going to be the big man, Erling Haaland. My opinion, I just think some of the games where City, he'll just be absolutely ruthless. I think he'll be exactly what they're looking for. Just take him to another level. I know I know some people are probably doubting it. Can he come over and do it in this league? But I know the Bundesliga is slightly different to the Premier League. But you can't. The guy's finishing is just on another level. So I'm just excited to see how good he's really going to be, and by the end of the season, see how many goals are on that tally. Because I'm thinking 25 plus.
Yeah, good shout. For me, it's going to be Alvarez from Man City. Yeah. I think this guy is going to be a special player, and he's going to eclipse Sergio Aguero. I really do. It's a perfect club for him. I think this guy is going to be absolutely outstanding. Mark my words, Julian Alvarez. You should have had him, Maisy. You should have had him.
I would have. You knew how fuming I was when Alvarez came to Man City instead of Man United. I was honestly so annoyed because it was linked to us the entire January window, and Ralph actually wanted us to buy a striker. So the fact that there was Alvarez, there was a few other players in the mix too, like ENQUIRIES from Leipzig. And that the Glazers said no, knowing that we needed it. I still look at it. Why'd you do this?
That's you missed a trick there. You missed a trick there because he would have done bits for you, by the way, 100%. And I think you still need a striker to fit anyway, but that's another time. Big up to Mark, by the way. The lack of reinforcements in the forward position is starting to show now in our fan base, especially when people want to ship the bracket off or Dubs now to Leicester to get Manchester over the line. It's a kind of madness. I don't get it at all. I like the bracket. I really, really do. But at the end of the day, right, if you're gonna do that sort of thing, yeah, I mean, I'll still have it at the club, but as long as he plays number 2. But it's a hard one, really. Probably split the fans. But if you do get rid of Bracker and the part of the Anderson deal, then we're going to go in with Pope and Darlow. And I've seen Jay's tweet a day. It would not be a good idea. And she is absolutely correct. You can't do that. You cannot be short in the goalkeeping department. So there you go. I think Liverpool welcome Fulham to Premier League next 6-0 win.
I Like Coffee is a good predictor, by the way. Listen to I Like Coffee when he says that, because he actually predicted the correct score for the England women game and the correct goal scorer as well.
Yeah, pretty much so. He's a top guy, by the way. What's the crack? What's the bleeding story? We love Delwood, don't we? We love him the bits, don't we? He's a great guy. He's been on your channel, hasn't he, Mace?
Oh, yeah, he's a great guy. He's a great guy, Delboy.
He is, isn't he? He's the one that wanted to discover Diego Simeone to take off from Eddie Howe. He's the one that's been saying that. And if he does go, that'll be my guy. And I think Mason knows that as well. Don't know why. Back Newcastle in a small club. On 100 goals. At the end of the season, who leads the league? Who's going to win it? I'm going to say Haaland, I'm going to say Harry Kane. Harry Kane for me. Hayes' top scorer at the end of the season. I think, to be honest, I think would back up for Wilson. I can see I'm very scared of that scenario. I can see what you're trying to say, Jules. I think you're right there. That is the thing. Apparently, Bournemouth are in for Neto from Barca. Well, I tell you what, if they get him sort of thing, what a cue. Right, straight on to the next game now. Everton-Chelsea, Tony.
Yeah. Well, Everton, they've signed Tarkowski and McNeil. What can we say? Tarkowski on a free from a relegated club. to help out with our more leaky defence. You've got McNeil, who didn't score a goal all season and assisted 1 goal. So at least they've brought goals to the team now, haven't they? After getting rid of Richarlison. So it depends whether they keep Calvert-Lewin now. That's the other thing. If Calvert-Lewin goes, I don't see where they're going to score their goals, Everton, if I'm honest. But I can't see Everton beating Chelsea. Not a chance. I'm going to be nice to Everton here, which I'm not being, because it's first game of the season. And so I'm going for a Chelsea 3-0 win over Everton. I think this time they'll be ruthless with Everton, because when they got beat 1-0 the last time at Goodison Park, they were not happy. And I think they'll put a better display on, and I can see 3-0 to Chelsea.
Do you know what it is, Tony? I think Chelsea, because they did get Cucurella. I tell you what, that guy is absolutely brilliant as left back. He is absolutely brilliant. I mean, Marcus Alonso, I think he's a talented player. I think he's a good player, but he's not on the levels of Mr. Cucurella. Absolutely no chance whatsoever. I still think they got some good players there. Koulibaly's a quality player. I mean, they need a number 9. They need to get a centre forward, yeah. And for me, I mean, Havertz can't do it on his own. I think the midfield needs Sosa, Kante. I like him, but it's just not the same player, I'm afraid. Yeah, I think it's going to be very interesting for Chelsea to see how they do, Maisy.
Yeah, I do think so, but I don't think Chelsea's going to be as good as they have been. I know they've bought Raheem Sterling, but I still think that they do need still a better false 9 than Kai Havertz. They need a right-winged player for me. I just don't think that... I look at him and think Thomas Tuchel heavily relies on his fullbacks. I don't know what's going on with Ben Chilwell if he is back, but if that is the case, that's still going to be a big loss for Chelsea, having Alonso there and the left wing back. And with Everton signed, I actually rate Tarkowski, but I don't think they're good enough. So I'm actually going to go for even more generous win. And I'm going to go with a 1-0 for Chelsea, because I don't think they're going to score much.
Yeah, that's a fair shout there. I have to agree there. Who will be the first player red carded? Will it be this weekend? Nobody knows, Bold. No one knows, mate. Big signing tomorrow. For no other reason, that'll be my birthday, so I can say so. Yes, happy birthday for tomorrow, Jade. And will the 3 that got promoted be the ones that end up getting relegated? I think one of them will stay up. Forest will stay up for me. And that's the old Duff got promoted. Yeah, got that one. Happy 18th birthday, Jade. Yeah, love it. Napoli are in for Ronaldo. What are your thoughts? They can't afford $500,000 a week. They will not pay that sort of money, I can tell that. And yeah, good ones as well. And let's go on to Brad.
I'm going to say 2-1.
Jason.
2-1 Chelsea for that one. I can see Chelsea just having a bit too much, particularly getting the revenge from the game at the back end of the season where Everton beat them somehow. But yeah, I can see Chelsea probably getting another player or two in by then as well. So
Cucurella.
I think they'll start off. I think they'll start the season off the right way.
I think they will. Excuse me. I think Everton's going to have problems this season. I really do. Whether to go down to another thing, but for me, I'm going to say Everton 1, Chelsea 3. I think Chelsea win out by 3-1. Yeah. Bournemouth against Aston Villa, Tony. Bournemouth back in the Premier League. They just signed Tavernier, the Arthur Neto as well from Barca. And look, I think Bournemouth bought their players in January and to get them up, yeah. And I think they're going to struggle against a Villa side who's going to surprise a few people, like Mace said earlier on. And they got Diego Carlos. They have got Kamara. They've got some talented players there. Leon Bailey needs to be fit. Ollie Watkins needs to be fit as well. And Martinez is quality in goal. They got Matt Min as well. He's class. And Tyrone Mings, I'm not sure about him, by the way, but I expect Villa to win that game, Tony.
Well, you would have thought so. But I've gone the total opposite to that because although Villa have signed well and they are a little bit of a retirement home for the likes of Coutinho and Carlos, hence why we didn't go in for them this summer. But Bournemouth, yeah, they haven't bought well, really, have they? I mean, I know they just got Tavernier from Middlesbrough the other day. But you know, with the Vitality Stadium, as it's called now, it used to be Dean Court, I think, at one time. It's that tight little ground where the fans are on top of you. This is going to surprise a few people what I'm going to say, but I'm going for a 1-1 draw.
Cool. And Maisy.
For me, Bournemouth has been very disappointing in this transfer window. I think they signed 2 or 3 players, and they've lost their best player of Williams, who was on loan to them, who arguably helped them up to the Premier League. Lost them out to someone who recently got promoted of Nottingham Forest. And for me, in my opinion, I just think that Aston Villa, even though they are a developing team at the moment under Gerrard, I just think that Bournemouth, with the way their team is now, and losing so many players, I don't think the Premier League ready, and I think they're going to have a bad start. So I've gone for a 2-0 win for Aston Villa.
Okay, that's I'm going for 2-0 for Maisy. Bad.
I think I'm gonna 2-2 draw for that game. I think Bournemouth will do okay, particularly in the home matches. They won't be too bad. I think they've got a pretty solid team, and Scott Parker's a good manager. So don't get us wrong. There'll be a struggle to stay up, but particularly some home games, I think they'll be fairly difficult to beat. So see what additions they can bring in as well. But they have got quite a tight knit unit down there. So yeah, I'll back them to do all right in the opening fixture at home, back in the Premier League.
Yeah, it's good to see Bournemouth back in the Premier League.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good atmosphere. Excuse me, the fatality as well,
Yeah.
and
I feel like,
gets on.
As I say, I feel like it's not necessarily a bad thing. They haven't gone like Forest and signed like 12 players, because it shows they've got confidence in the spirit and the players that they've got. They've got them promoted, so fair play to them. Really, I can imagine getting 2 or 3 players in, but yeah, respect them for rewarding the lads that have got them up and gonna stick with the spine of the team.
I agree. I totally agree. I know at the end of the day, in Bournemouth are cracking a lovely team, and it's gonna be tough for them. I really do. They're gonna see plenty of goals. Scott Park's got a difficult job on his hands, sort of to keep them up. But I wish him all the best on it as well. And we'll see. According to Jade, Memphis Depay's been released from Barca. Let's have a meltdown. Wow. And but he wants to play in Europe. He still wants to play in European competition, and we can't offer that at all. I hate Chelsea. They keep saying I can't drink water. I don't think he's signed for Fan. I hope not, for his sake. I think Bournemouth might stay up if they sign Neto. We'll see. Chelsea to beat Everton, and Villa to beat Bournemouth by 3-1. Rice Garvell down in the States in Los Angeles and MLS. He could have helped the Premiership team. Excuse me. I tell you what it is, right? I think he was the easy way out, in my opinion. And I wish him all the best going in the States. And I just wish the guy well. Probably it's money at the end of the day. It's money, money, money. Can't see Bournemouth 1, Villa 1, Everton 1, Chelsea 1. That's from Foxy as well. And I'm going to say 3-1 to Villa, by the way. Let's go on to Leeds against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Tony, that'd be a tough game.
Yeah. Just the one quick thing on the Gareth Bale. I think the reason he's got the States and to Los Angeles is because he's surrounded by golf courses. And we know how much he loves his golf.
Still wants the sun.
Absolutely. So that's why he's gone there.
Could be.
Yeah.
You could be well. You could be.
So,
I mean, It is. You're right. You're right. Golf course in LA. Yeah. It's got some lovely ones as well. He might apply for the PGA, you know.
Yeah, or the Live tournament. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Saudi golf.
Yeah. PGA for me, tradition. PGA.
That's why I'm surprised he didn't come to Newcastle, because the Saudi golf guy's on the board, and so he could have had words with him. But yeah,
exactly, totally agree.
and we have a golf course in Newcastle as well. So yeah, just down the road.
Absolutely. Listen, less of the golf, straight to the football. And we're
absolutely.
Talk about the Kentucky game against Leeds and Wolves, and tell us about that game.
Well, I think Leeds are going to struggle this season. I mean, in my Premier League prediction last week, I said they're going to get relegated, third bottom in the table. And my mind hasn't changed on that either. I think they're going to struggle. They've lost Rafinha, they've lost Phillips. That's two players out of their midfield they've lost. Two of their best players. It depends if Bamford stays fit, and that's the problem. They're not keeping him fit. Who else they got to put the goals in apart from Gerhardt, who can't do it all on his own, I suppose. On the other hand, Wolves, if they've got Jimenez firing again, and and they've got Neves fit again, Ruben Neves. All I can see at this game at Ellen Road is a win for Wolves, because I can't see Leeds winning that game. As I say, they're going to struggle this season. And I think Jesse Marsh will be found out as a manager as well, because there's not many American managers come over here and do well. So that I've gone for Wolves to win 2-0 away at Leeds. Jimenez and Neves to score them goals.
Fair enough. I've got a card say once each. Leeds to win 1-0. Truls are technically bought one player. They need a Botman and Ryan. And I can see Wolves being very good this season if Neves leaves. I think you'd probably give him one more year. I really do think that. Would we feel that Chelsea lose the first game? Darwin making a goal or two against Fulham. Leeds draw once against Wolves. Don't count Tiger, because technically he was here half the season. Leeds to Leicester's stepping stone club for Chelsea. And Fox is saying that just you and me, bro. Everyone else seems to have Wolves mid-table. There you go, Maisy. Leeds Wolves.
For me, I completely agree with Tony in terms of Leeds. I don't think they're good enough, and losing the two main players, I think they are going to struggle. I think especially whilst Wolves have got a strong midfield of Montinho and Neves, I can't see them losing this game, because the midfield, despite of course them having a poor striker and attacking options, they've got us at the moment a solid defence and a solid midfield, and I think that's going to help them get the 3 points from this game. So I've gone for Wolves 2, Leeds 1.
Very fair enough. I think that's a good one there. Very positive there. Brad.
I'm going to go for a Wolves 1-0 win for that game. I think it'll just be a pretty solid performance from Wolves, like we've seen in a lot of games last season. They're not prolific scorers, but they can be quite solid at the back. And see, Jose Sarr, they've got to, hopefully, if he carries on his form like he has last season, there's no reason why they can't be in and around top half again, really. But I think for Leeds, I can see them struggling to find their feet initially, but I think they'll be okay. I do quite like Jesse Marsh as a manager, so I think they made some good signings. Pretty tricky, like Sinistera from Feyenoord, was it? I think that was quite a decent signing, to be fair. And I've got a couple others, but might need time to gel. So for that reason, I think Wolves will take that one.
I think Leeds need to click very quickly with the new players. They really need to, because they don't. Like Todd said, they're going to get found out, and Jesse Marsh could be found out. But I think Leeds will struggle this season, in my opinion. For this game, I'm going to say a 2-each draw in that game, 2-2 draw in that game. So I'm going to go for 2-each draw. I'm going for the spice this season. West Ham third, who knows? The times when we were stepping stone for Liverpool and Chelsea was Bob Bradley, the only other American manager. I think he was, He wasn't good enough, but Marsh is a much better manager. He is technically. Question, how many points are the two getting in August? 2 wins would be good. 2 wins, drawn, probably at 2 defeats. Leeds have fought really well. Wolves still have a stacked squad, close one, the core, that's from Michael. Honestly thought Newcastle will have accomplished a lot more in this transfer window than they did so far. The offence certainly is not keeping pace with defence at Newcastle, as from Brett. I thought there has to be a game that will have a surprise result, even a shock scoreline. Fulham-Liverpool, 1-0 draw from Alan. And can't believe she's roasted by Tracy Howe.
He's gone to Sporting on loan, and especially knowing the young age he is, I think it's good for him to get developed off Sporting, because they're one of the best teams in the world for me, in my opinion, in terms of developing a player.
Yeah, he needs to get Champions League as well, and I think Wolves did do enough to keep him. But it's a shame. But he was one of the better players at Wolves, by the way. Tracy Howe, I like him, I really do. What a fantastic win back he was as well. He would be Newcastle's top scorer this season. As things stand, it'd probably be Callum Wilson. And wouldn't be surprised Leicester lose against Brentford. David Wagner as well is Huddersfield. He is now at Young Boys Burn. And we're going to go on to the next game. Newcastle against Forest, Tony.
Yeah, well, you know, as we've seen with Nottingham Forest, they're out there trying to sign every player they can buy. You know, they've got that TikTok star now on 200 grand a week. They're out to buy another player at the moment. It's silly, really, the way they're spending money. I mean, you know, if you're gonna, you don't just come up from the Championship and have a complete clear out and buy a whole new team, because that ain't going to work in the Premier League. The Premier League's a ruthless league. When we come up from the Championship, we still had Championship players, and we stayed up in the Premier League. We still got Championship players now in the squad from 2016. So with Forest, I just think it's absolutely ridiculous the way they've spent money. Newcastle, well, you know, there's only one winner in this for me. And I'm not being biased because it's my team, but yeah, I just can't see Forest beating us on Saturday. I really can't. Even with Jay Ling's TikTok star on show, I can't see him. He will not play a lot anyway, John, because he's not match fit, is he? So even if he starts, he might only last.
Toe? Have you seen his toe?
No.
You don't want to. All right, I've got him on Snapchat, right? Yeah, and he keeps posting pictures because his toes are black and infected.
Oh. Well, I can't see him playing more than, even if he does start, he'll play 60 minutes, I think, at the most, because he's not match fit. Not only that, they've got all these players that they have to gel. And the thing is, they haven't even been all playing together in pre-season. So I'm going to be generous to Forest here, but I can see us winning 3-0 against Forest with Bruno, Wilson and ESM on the score sheet.
I think ASM's going to have fun on Saturday. I really do. I really do. And
we're going to stick it up Dean Henderson as well.
Yeah, let's hope so. That's the case. Maisy.
For me, I've gone for a 2-1 win for Newcastle. I can't see anything but a Newcastle win. However, I do really rate the winger from Nottingham Forest, Johnson. I think he's a terrific winger, and he's still only very young. I genuinely think that he's going to be close to scoring 10 goals this season. That's how good I think he is. And knowing that he's already a Wales international as well, from being in the Championship, he's played with big players. I think that it's going to be a good game. So I've gone for a 2-1 for Newcastle, because I think Newcastle's going to get a win from that game.
Yeah, fair enough. Brad, are you going to be biased?
No, well, you know I am. But I'm just going to go for a 1-0 though, because I think we'll be, into the circumstances, might be quite nervous and might be quite wasteful with our chances, just because the nerves and a bit of pressure for the first game. But We'll get it. We'll get it over the line. It might not be the prettiest game through patches, but I can't see Forest will be pretty solid defensively, and can't see them causing us too many problems. But yeah, and I think we'll just have too much for them in the end.
Yeah, we got Ryan, we got Foxy as well. Wouldn't surprise me seeing Forest win 2-1. If you push the game and say we as our fans are FA opponents should be respected. Humble pie maybe in the order. I have to agree. ASM will probably cook Richie Lalia. I wouldn't be surprised. Newcastle 3 Forest 1. Miggy Wilson target the score. Miron Maxi will put Forest to bits 3-2. For me, I'm not going to be biased, but I've got to say 1-0. We're going to miss a lot. I just got a feeling, guys, you're going to miss a lot of chances in this game. And I hope that's not the case. But I think I'm going to be positive and go 3-1. No, 1-0 to Newcastle. So we move straight on to Spurs against Southampton. While Lane, Antonio Conte got the players he need. And Tony, I think he's got to get them chancing to the title or very close to it.
Well, he's got to get them somewhere up that way. But he's got to break the top two of Liverpool and City. And, you're going to have something extra special to break them two, if I'm honest. Because they're the runaway teams in the league now. And that's the teams that everybody wants to aspire to be near. They might get close and stay third or fourth in the table, but, I can't see them getting anywhere past third place. So they play Southampton. I can't see Southampton getting anything out of this game, if I'm honest with you. They've lost Broja. He's gone back to Chelsea. I just don't see where Southampton's going to really do any damage to Spurs, if I'm honest with you. The only thing I will say is they may take a shock lead with a James Ward-Prowse free kick. But after that, Spurs are going to run riot, especially Harry Kane and Son. We'll see how Richarlison does for Spurs, see if he continues his diving antics all over the floor and rolling about. But I've got Spurs to win 4-1 against Southampton at home, because at home, Tottenham are a different animal. We found that out. We went 1-0 up and we got beat 5-1. We shouldn't have lost 5-1 in that game, if I'm honest. We were a shambles in that second half. But when you go to Spurs, if you don't control them, they'll just run riot. And I think they'll have too much for Southampton. So I'm going Spurs 4, Southampton 1.
They got some cracking signs of both Richarlison, Bissouma, Spence, Perisic, Forster, Lenglet as well, yeah? And they have fought really well. And don't forget Kulusevski and Bentancur as well from Juventus. So they have got a strong team there, Maisy.
Yeah, they do really have a strong team. And I think that I predicted them to finish third, because I think Man City and Liverpool are going to run riot. And I think it's going to probably be a 10-point gap between both of them with Spurs. But I think Spurs are going to concentrate on cup competitions. I don't think Southampton are good enough, and it's not because of the manager; it's because of the board not investing in the team. I think they've signed a decent player in Aribo. I do really rate him, but I do think that Southampton need to be doing a lot better, and I have a feeling that they're going to be playing Aribo as a false nine rather than an attacking midfielder / box-to-box midfielder. And I think that will also play as a downfall for Southampton. In terms of Spurs, they've made terrific signings. One in particular I love is Spence. A lot of people know I rate the kid. I think he's great. I'm going to go for a 4-0 for Spurs.
Yeah, I think Hattehusa's going to be under big pressure. He needs to start well, by the way. If he doesn't, then he's in big trouble. Real talk. And before we get to Brad, we're going to go on to a few as well. Tony the Red, bonjour, come stai? That's Italian. Starting to beat Spurs 3-2. Spurs stayed in February. Yes. If it's get any of that close, then that'll be brilliant for Southampton. He's going to go. Brad, Spurs, Southampton.
I think, yeah, I sort of agree with what's been said. I can see Spurs probably 3 or 4-0. I think I'm really impressed at the business that they've backed Conte in the market, and they've made some really good signings, to be fair. And on the back of that, though, they'll be really expecting them to challenge Liverpool and Chelsea, Liverpool and City under a bit of pressure. And obviously, key to that is they've got to be very, they can't lose very many games at home if they're going to do that. So games like this, you'd expect them to have no danger in picking up 3 points against Southampton, who could be one of the potential strugglers this season, I think.
Yeah, I can see them struggling as well this season. I really can. For me, I'm going to go Tottenham 3, Southampton 0. I think Spurs to be far too strong for them. And like Ryan said, Spurs has got to be in a title race this season. Absolutely no excuses. I have to agree with them. We've got 3 more to go through. We're going to go with Leicester City against Brentford at the KP. Leicester haven't signed any players this season, but Brentford got a couple in. And especially Ben Mee, I think that's a good free buy from Burnley. Tony, what do you think, mate?
Yeah, he's a solid centre off. He's been Mr. Burnley for a long time, hasn't he, Ben Mee? And good luck to him at Brentford. So with the Brentford game, Leicester are going to struggle, I think, because obviously Schmeichel's off to Nice now. So technically they ain't got number 1 now, have they? So they'll run out of time to get a number 1 in by the weekend. So that could mean Danny Ward has to step in, the ex-Liverpool keeper. Brentford, they did okay last season. Then they had that dip in form. Then Eriksen came into the club. Thankfully, Eriksen wasn't on form when he first came on against us. But after that, he started ticking. And he helped keep Brentford in the Premier League. I won't say single-handedly because they do it as a team, but he was the mainstay of getting them in the keeping them in the Premier League. So for this one, it's a Leicester defeat, unfortunately, and I'm going Brentford 2, Leicester 1.
Oh, that's a good shout. That's a big bowl there. Maisy.
For me, I think Leicester, they've been poor to not make any signings. And knowing that you picked up so many injuries during the season, knowing that for me, Leicester you look at the squad they have got, they should be a top 7 team easily, in my opinion. They really should be. And the fact that they've dropped like that, yes, they played well in the Europa Conference League, but you need to be improving on what you are doing, especially knowing that you're making them signings. You're still keeping your best players. It's not as though they've lost the best players in James Maddison, Tielemans, Harvey Barnes, Kasper Schmeichel. They've still got all these players and they've gone worse. For me, in my opinion, especially knowing that they haven't made any attempts to improve, I've gone for a 1-1.
Yeah, I think that's a fair shout there. Brad?
I'm going to go for 1-1 draw in that game. I can see Leicester surprisingly doesn't look like they're going to make any additions to the squad before that game. Might be losing one, might be potentially, but which I'm surprised by. So, and Leicester, Brentford, finished the season fairly well after they did tail off in the middle end of it. So, and I think they made a couple of good additions as well. So, yeah, I can see them having a good go and coming away with something.
Yeah, fair enough. Feel like in my predictions, I've got Fox saying Leicester to beat Brentford 4-3. I'm pricing 4-0 Barnes, Daka hat-trick, that's already B. And Liverpool will beat Fulham 4-1, Salah, Darwin, and on the score sheet. Leicester concede, they can't defend set pieces. And Leicester 2, Brentford 2. I'm going Leicester 1, Brentford 2 for me. I think Brentford's going to get off to a good start. I think, to win the game 3-1. We're going to come on to Man U in a bit. Got another one to predict as well. We got one between West Ham and Man City. Tony?
Yeah. Well, this should be an interesting game. Both teams got new strikers. Skamaka for West Ham, and you got Haaland on the City side. We've got Julian Alvarez as well. Now, technically, normally, when Italian strikers come into the Premier League, they normally struggle. I can't see Skamaka getting off the mark straight away. City, I think, may just have a little bit too much for West Ham, but West Ham won't be overrode by them or overrun, and I think they'll give them a good game. And I think even if I'm going to go down possession-wise, I'm going to say 55-45 to City in possession, because that's how close a game it will be. It was quite a close game last season down at the London Stadium. But for my prediction, it's West Ham 0, Manchester City 2. Alvarez and Haaland on the score sheet.
Good shout. Maisy.
I think this game, like one of them games where it's a bit like ping pong, where it's back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. This is what I can see this game being. Both teams are gonna go out and win. David Moyes, he thinks I've nearly done it before. I want to do it this time. You've got Pep Guardiola, who knows that he struggled against West Ham last season, so he's gonna want to improve upon that as well. In my personal opinion, I think it's going to be a high-scoring game, and I've gone for Manchester City 4, West Ham 2.
Yeah, I've got that as well, Maisy. I've got that as well. There'll be goals in it. I think City will not let them off the hook this time. They know what's all about. Now they got Haaland sorting them out. I mean, I think Skamaka got to get 2 goals, by the way. This guy is going to be light up the Premier League. Brad?
I'm going to go for 3-1 City for that game. I think they're going to have to be at the best to go away. But I think they will do that, and they'll obviously, if they do turn up, they'll have enough to beat West Ham. Although West Ham will still put them under a bit of pressure. I think they will get a goal, and they maybe get the opening goal, and then. But I think City in the end will just have too much, and Haaland probably to get one or two. I think.
Really scary things to get a hat-trick. I'll be Man City 5-3 because why not? We need a goal feast. West Ham 1, City 4. I know a game a bit like ping pong, table tennis, but I don't think they would do ping pong against these this time round. The last one we're gonna say the best for Maisy's last, and I have to say, and I've got to respect her team as well, is United against Brighton at Old Trafford. Ten Hag's first official Premier League game, and I still believe they get Frankie de Jong a couple of days before the transfer window end. I believe, and I said United's going to get top 4, no problem. If they get de Jong, I think it could be a lot better for them. They get them, I think that team's made. And Tony, we start with you, my guy.
Yeah. So Man United, Brighton at Old Trafford So I can see this being a close game because Brighton are a good side and Graham Potter's a good manager, and he's next England manager once Southgate goes, in my opinion. He'll have Brighton set up, especially if he's still got Cucurella as well, of course, by then. Man U's brought a few good signings in. They've got Malacia and Martinez. Just depends how these players work in the Premier League. Depends if Ronaldo's going to play or he's going to sit on the bench crying his eyes out. Because it seems like he doesn't want to be there. But then he puts things on Instagram like the king is back, and so for me, this game, and I'm going to surprise Maisy on this. Just waiting for it. I can see her face. So I'm going Manchester United 1, Brighton and Hove Albion 1.
Wow. Have you seen this comment there? You seen this comment there from Truls? He's on me mods, right? He's a lovely gown, sure. No, I'm not. I read. But just don't call Maisy Mason the Mag, and she won't call you John the Red. Is that right, Mace?
That is right, yeah.
Just don't say it. Tony's been warned about it. And FSA playing 1-0. Thank you, Brad. There he is. He's in the building, by the way. Dean Henderson's Comspain Weston. Man U 2, Brighton 2. Ericsson third, Undav and Caicedo. 4-0 to Brighton. And imagine the scenes. Macy, you're a big United fan. Go for it.
I think the game's going to be a tight game, and I think Brighton always play a good game against us. They really do. And I think, to be honest, we need to take that bit of advantage knowing that they haven't truly replaced Bissouma. And if they lose out on Cucurella by the time we play against them, that's another advantage for Manchester United, to be fairly honest. But I think it is going to be a very tough game, and I've gone for a 3-2 to Manchester United. I think Ten Hag is going to push for this Old Trafford win because it's his first Premier League game, especially knowing it's at home with the home crowd. He's going to want to get that win. Personally, I don't think Ronaldo will be playing. He actually dropped Ronaldo at half-time against Rayo. So I think that knowing Martial's played well at pre-season, probably he'll start. And I think if we are able to press Brighton like we pressed in pre-season, we should be able to get 3 points. But knowing how we've dropped points in the past and how we've dropped points in pre-season, we need to be extremely careful. It can go either way, but I've gone for 3-2.
Wow. Goal, it's going to be a goal fest as well. The butcher with Slayer Brighton, as known as the Sandro Martinez, that tackle he did. Oh my God, that was absolutely outstanding tackle. Outstanding. And you don't have to be 6'4" to be a great defender, by the way. Thank you, Jules. Thank you to you, mate. Man U stuff Brighton as Brighton have lost two of the best players. 2-1 Man U, and it's at Old Trafford. Unfortunately, that's from Tony the Red. And United haven't sold Harry Maguire. They are going this one side. They may be missing Cucurella, by the way. I don't think he'll play. Apart from the 4-0 loss, Man U's last defeat to Brighton was 2018. They also got beat by 4-0 as well last season. This is the game where people will start respecting Brighton. Never have been a 1 or 2 man team with Bissouma and Cucurella. And see you later to Jules. Thanks, I was out, mate. And Brad, Man U, Brighton.
Gonna go for 2-0 to Manchester United for that one. I think that they'll have too much for Brighton. I think then it'll be the start that they need to build a bit of confidence.
Yeah,
I can't see, especially being in front of the home fans as well. They need to make sure that don't give away as many silly results at home that they did last season. So it's going to be key for them having a good year. So yeah,
We've been a lot better away though for years. Like we had that unbeaten away record, and then I think even last season, despite us being crap, we were still better away. I don't know why we're better away these past so many years, but you'd think knowing how Old Trafford is and the fans all being there, it's really strange.
Yeah, absolutely, man. But yeah, it's going to be interesting, guys. I'm going to go. Excuse me. I'm going to go 3-1 to Man U, and I think they're going to get off to a flyer. I think they defend properly. I think it's going to be a good game, and it's going to be a cracking game. So I would go 3-1. So I think that completes our Premier League Matchday 1 prediction as well. I'll go through a few comments as well. And Keith said 92 Brighton 2. Very hard game. It's all down to the start. And yeah, watch it back. Keith, you missed me, sure, mate. And Pogba's already injured at Juventus. Wow. That's not a good start, isn't it, really? And then wow. I tell you what, you want to go back to Juve, call it back sort of thing. So there you go. I think we've got it all there as well. Will there be... I was going to say as well, we did a prediction last week. It's going to be the first managerial cash to be sacked. We've done that. And I Brad, we haven't asked you, mate, as well. Who do you think is going to be the first manager of the Casualty to be ready to get sacked this season?
I'm gonna tough one actually. I think I'm gonna go for Brendan Rodgers. You know, I think that particularly the newly promoted teams, I can see them learning from maybe mistakes such as Watford last year. They will stick around with a manager for longer than maybe the teams have done in the past. So, but I think Leicester are under a bit of extreme pressure, and particularly if they lose Maddison as well. And if results don't go to plan early doors, I think that could be an option for them to look at. So, yeah, he's under some serious pressure. And yeah, that could be the one to go.
Yeah, I'll go like as well. I mean, I think Frank Lampard, for me, I don't think he'll be the first, but it's going to be up there because of FFP.
Yeah.
They have to pay money on that as well.
Yeah.
So I think Brenda's going to be under pressure. Silver's going to be under pressure. Marsh's going to be under pressure as well.
Yeah, I can see a lot of them, such as Lampard, he will be under pressure, but I can see them just sticking around with him for a bit longer. But Brendan's the one that's been there. He's been at Leicester about 4 or 5 years coming up now, even a bit longer than that. So it's getting to that stage where if they start struggling, then he's under immediate pressure. You know, they don't owe each other anything at this stage, so they could be looking for a change.
Yeah, absolutely. And Sean Dyche is around by the way.
Yeah,
He'll be around. And so
I think he'll be the first one to take a job as well. I'll certainly be in the running. Sure, yeah.
Totally agree. Ready to take care, mate? And she was all John's a red. No, I'm not. I'm not a red. I mean, Maisy's smiling because she wants us to be a red. I'm sure she does. Remind you, the score looks bright on match day. Just want City to drop the points this season. I know the reason you want to say that because you want Liverpool to win the title. And official bet Silver at Fundy gone first. Lampard for me, Rodgers is a shoutless and Tony the red. Lampard, all jokes aside, United come good under Ten Hag and take a couple of seasons. Silver's a good shout, and even Hassan Hüttl as well. Hassan Hüttl could be gone as well. He could be on the session.
I think, to be honest with you, well, the thing is, I'll tell you now, even though he might not be the first manager sacked, there is no way Marco Silva will do a full season in the Premier League. He got sacked at Everton, he got sacked at Watford, and he'll get sacked at Fulham as well.
Yeah. Don't look good because these owners, they don't take any crap from none of that. I mean, who was it got them up? He got sacked, did he? Got them up, and then Randy Harry took over as well. So,
was that not Disco from Watford?
Yeah,
that's the one. He got sacked, didn't he?
Yeah,
but doesn't look good, done it? But they want to be in the Premier League every season. But get out of the Championship is not enough for them. They want to be in the Premier League. And Pochettino could take a job at Leicester and do well. That's some truths. Could well be. But I think he was a bigger one than that as well.
Yeah.
But the thing with Watford is they'll never stay in the Premier League if they're going to keep sacking managers. I mean, 3 managers in one season ain't going to keep you in the Premier League, is it? So it's just absolutely crazy. That guy was doing all right until he lost one game and then they decided, let's sack him.
Don't make sense, doesn't it? It does not make sense whatsoever.
I think the Sean Dyche one's probably lined up for one of the newly promoted clubs, though, you would have thought, or somewhere around there.
He's not a bad manager, really.
No, he'll be
manager.
There's going to be a decision to make there's going to be some clubs down the bottom struggling. They're thinking Sean Dyche is available. Can we bring him in and try and work his magic and try and keep them up, as opposed to sticking with what they've got. So I think there'll be quite a few clubs that are considering bringing Sean in at some stage through the season. Yeah.
It has to be to the right club as well. I've got a feeling that Sean will probably end up going to Everton. That's why I think he'll end up going.
I think Rooney will go to Everton because why would he go to DC United and put a clause in his contract that he can be free to leave to go to a Premier League club? And the only club I think Rooney would go to would be Everton because it's his boyhood club. So I think if Lampard goes, they can get Rooney in on a free. So I think they'll take Rooney.
Yeah. Quite possibly, and we have to wait and see. But you could be right.
Fair, John,
could be right.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, if you look at Derby last season, I know they had those points deduction, but if you think the job Rooney did there, if they didn't have them points deduction, they would still be in the championship this season. So he did a good job under so strained finances and administration, everything. So for the job he done in the championship, he didn't do it too bad at Derby. Just the points took them down. That's the only problem.
Exactly. He's done a wonderful job there. 110%. And you know what it is? I think he lost the football, he lost the passion, but I just think he's had enough. He doesn't want to do the same job again like he did last season. But I think Rooney will be a great manager in the years to come. Trust us when I say that. Question, how many goals ASM will get in the season? I want to score at least 10 this season. Keith said, so Chelsea sat tons and they're still in the Premier League. Ten Hag will be at Man U for at least 5 years. Can see the club sticking with him regardless how bad year one is. He has the ability to see there. I have to agree. And Sean to Chelsea was shockers. Rooney won't be a free. Tony, he's at DC United. That's Leah's saying. 10 to 12 goals. If he gets 10 to 12 goals, I think Newcastle have a cracking season. So with ASM. But we should see. Guys, I'm going to wrap it up there. And I know we've been for an hour. And I think it's been a great start for the Premier League. Sure, Tony, what do you think of it?
Yeah, it's been a cracking start. Yeah. Some good predictions from all of us. All different predictions, of course, as well, which, you know, a bit of mix and match. Can't go wrong with that. So, yeah, good start.
Brilliant stuff. Thank you. Maisy.
Thanks for having me on, John. It's been a great show.
Brilliant. And where can we find you on your socials, Maisy? Can you tell us
That's my YouTube channel, Devils United, Manchester United content for men and the women's football. And my Twitter's at 2_, MUFC Maze.
Brilliant stuff. And Brad, where can we find you?
Yeah, just below there on this side, sorry. Kept it on this time. So Twitter, yeah, you can follow us on there, just the general football banter and that sort of thing. And I'll give you a follow back. But I know it's been another good show, John. Nice to it's start to feel real now, isn't it? Talking about the fixtures and in a few more days, it's finally gonna come around. It just feels like so long since we've had some Premier League games to talk about. So I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely, because the thing is, right? I mean, Tony, before we go into, I forgot to ask you where you find your socials, mate. I mean, Tony, there you go. Yeah. You can see it from here, and he'll follow you back. Is that right?
That's spot on, John. Thank you very much, mate. Yeah, no problem. Can I just say one thing before we go off, because obviously we didn't mention this yesterday, and it was, you know, a bit bad on our part not mention it. But well done to them England women win the Euros.
Yeah.
The last time we won the World Cup, we beat Germany in extra time. We won the Euros 56 years later, beating Germany after extra time.
Yeah.
How weird's that? And now we've got the German press whinging about the game, saying it's a Wembley fraud and that it was handball. But VAR have cleared this up and said because the ball deflected off Millie Brighton and hit Leah Williamson on the hand, it's not a handball.
Exactly. They just got to get used to it. It's just excuses all the time. Do you know what I mean? Crazy. And
I thought they were a dirty German team. They were absolutely disgraceful the way they were going on. I was so pleased when they lost that striker Pop before the game because I was like, oh, she's out. That's good news. But and well done to Chloe Kelly as well. Not just for getting the goal, but how brave was she? Top off and celebrating. Well done to her. Big up to her. And like she said this morning on TV, it's the best yellow card I've ever had.
Yeah, absolutely. She won't give a monkeys about that. She won't. She doesn't.
Not when you scored the winner, no.
Not in a game like that. Definitely not. And heads up, tickets for the Palace tomorrow on sale tomorrow. Good luck with that. Yes, well done, Linus. Amazing. I'm going to end this one. Toon. There you go. Guys, thanks so much for coming on. We'll do backstage. But guys, if you like the video, like what you see, then please hit the like button. And it just makes me channel making good. Also, smash the subscribe button as well. And it's good numbers going up daily on a daily basis. If you'd like to become a member, hit the join button like Pablo's done earlier on. And if you like to super chat or make a small donation, then you can either do it from here or you can go for the thanks option as well. You can go into that as well. And go last one as well, Foxy. Unfortunately, quite a few people have negative comments with the women winning. Congrats to them, heroes. Yes, that's what I like to see. Brilliant stuff, Foxy. Thank you very much, Steve, for coming, guys. Thanks for the few hours tonight. And I should say bye-bye for now. Fans form tomorrow night, and that would be at 7, half 7, because there's no channel at 9 o'clock. So, my guys, so we talk about it in a bit. And keep your eyes peeled for that. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. And have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Thanks, Ravi. And take care for now. And it's a bye-bye for now.
Evening.
Bye.